Today we will discuss propagation of errors. Propagation of errors will give you how the final physical quantity measurement gets affected due to error arising in the different physical factors or physical quantities which are involved in representing that physical quantity. For example, measure suppose the perimeter of a rectangular field. So we'll be measuring the length, we'll be measuring breadth. So final result of measurement of the perimeter, how it is affected due to error in the length and breadth. Similarly, if suppose we take any physical quantity which is given by difference of the two physical quantities, then how the final result is affected due to errors in the individual physical quantities whose difference we are taking. Or it may be that a particular physical quantity is given by the product of two physical quantity, like it may be suppose the area of a rectangular field. So we will be measuring length, we'll be measuring breadth. So how the error in length and breadth will affect the final result of measurement of area and how the error will be there in that expression. Similarly for the division. So we will be dealing with all these, their theory, how we have the errors propagating in the measurement. And we'll also discuss a general expression. If suppose any particular physical quantity is there, which is depending upon say 3, 4 or other terms there, they have the different powers there, then how the final result will be affected when we get the errors there in the different physical quantities there. So all these will be discussing in this propagation of errors. So let's start with propagation of errors for addition. Here, let's assume that X is one physical quantity which is depending upon A and B and it is given by sum of A and B. So let X is A plus B. Now we are assuming that let delta A and delta B be the errors in the measurement of A and B respectively. And this delta X is the corresponding error in X. So if we consider this, then this expression can be written as X plus minus delta X, which will be given by A plus minus delta A plus B plus minus delta B. In terms of the errors, we are writing it as A plus minus delta A, B plus minus delta B. So if you just rearrange the terms, it will be your X plus minus delta X, that is your A plus B plus minus delta A plus delta B. Now you can see that X is A plus B. So if you just cancel out these two, then what we'll get? We'll get delta X equals to delta A plus delta B. So this is the final expression. This gives total error in the measurement of X will be given by sum of errors in the measurement of A and B. And we can conclude that total error in the measurement of two physical quantities which are given by the sum of these two will be sum of errors in the measurement of these individual quantities. So this is delta X equals to delta A plus delta B. So this is for propagation of errors in addition. That means where the physical quantity is given by sum of two physical quantities. It may be for two or more than two. It can be applied for that case. Let's now take difference of two physical quantities. So for difference, let X is given by A minus B. So again we'll take that let delta A and delta B be the errors in the measurement of A and B respectively, and delta X be the corresponding error in X. So taking errors into account, we can write this as X plus minus delta X. Then A will be your A plus minus delta A, B will be B plus minus delta B. So now if you rearrange, you will get X plus minus delta X as A minus B plus minus delta A minus delta B. These two we can cancel. X is your A minus B, so that we can cancel. So here you have delta X as delta A minus delta B. But remember, we always talk about maximum error in the measurement. So when you consider maximum error, maximum delta X, it will be given by the sum. So maximum error in the measurement of X, which is given by the difference of two physical quantity, will also be sum of errors in the measurement of A and measurement of B. It is not the difference of errors. It will be sum of errors in the measurement of the two physical quantities whose difference is giving the physical quantity X. Now, why we get this one? Why we are taking that the errors are added, not it is subtracted? Just to understand why errors in case of the difference of two physical quantities are added, not subtracted. Let's take one example. Suppose we have A, which is given as 12 plus minus 3, whatever be its unit. Whereas B is the one which is given as 7 plus minus 1. So if A in terms of the error is 12 plus minus 3, it means its values will range from 12 plus 3, that is 15, and 12 minus 3, that is 9. Whereas that of B, it will range from 7 plus 1, that is 8, and 7 minus 1, that is 6. So that means the value of A will range from 9 to 15, and that of B will be from 6 to 8. If we now take the difference of A and B, and it is now, this is your 12 minus 5, 7, so that is your 5 plus minus. Suppose we subtract errors. Instead of taking the sum, if I take the difference, then what you will get? It will be your 3 minus 1, that is 2. So it is your 5 plus minus 2. So this will indicate that the range of variation will be how much? It will be your 5 plus 2, that is 7, and 5 minus 2, that is 3. Let's go to the actual case. A is the one whose measured value is ranging from 9 to 15, and B is having value from 6 to 8. If I take the difference of the observations of A and B, then the maximum difference what we can get will be when A has maximum value and B has minimum value. Of course, it will be difference of the measurement of A and B at any point, but the maximum difference what we can get, it will be when A has maximum value and B has minimum. So this will be the maximum difference. And how much it will be? This will be equals to 15 minus 6. So this is your maximum, and this is giving you value as 9. Whereas the minimum one, what you will get? When A has minimum value and B has maximum value. So this will give you the minimum difference there. So this is the minimum. And this minimum is how much? This is 1. 9 minus 8. Now you see, if I take A minus B for errors, I taking errors into account, and we are subtracting errors instead of adding it, then our range of variation should be from 3 to 7. But what we find, its value should range from 1 to 9. So that means this is not correct. Where it is giving you the range of variation from 3 to 7. But if I subtract errors, instead of subtracting errors, if we add it, then the difference of A and B, it is simply your 5. And now if the errors are added, so this is your plus minus 3 plus 1, that is 4. Now you see the variation. For this case, 5 plus 4, that is 9, and this is 5 minus 1, that is 4 minus 1. So this is your variation is from 1 to 9. So this is the correct one. Here also we are getting minimum as 1 and maximum as 9. So this is the reason why we talk about the maximum error when we take the difference, and maximum error in case of difference will be given by sum of the errors in the measurement of the individual physical quantity and not the difference of errors. Now let's take for product of physical quantities. Any physical quantity which is given by the product of two or more physical quantities, for that how errors gets propagated in that. So suppose we take X, which is given as the product of two physical quantities A and B. So again we'll take that, let delta A be the error in the measurement of A and B respectively, delta A and delta B, and delta X be the corresponding error in X. So taking errors into account, we can write X as X plus minus delta X. A will be written as your A plus minus delta A multiplied by B plus minus delta B. If we just rearrange the term, we take suppose X outside the bracket, then it will be X into 1 plus minus delta X by X. It is A into 1 plus minus delta A by A, B into 1 plus minus delta B by B. Just rearrange the terms. This X and A into B will get cancelled. So now we'll be left with 1 plus minus delta X by X on left side, and now if you take their product, this is your 1 plus minus delta A by A plus minus delta B by B plus minus delta A by A into delta B by B. Again, this 1 will get cancelled from both sides, and this delta A by A into delta B by B, this is very small. So as it is very small, we can neglect this product in terms of delta A by A and delta B by B. So our final result will be your delta X by X equals to delta A by A plus delta B by B. So this is representing that relative error in the measurement of X is given by sum of relative error in A and B. If you simply multiply it by 100, you will get percentage error. So then it will be percentage error in X, which is the product of A and B. It will be given by the sum of percentage error in A plus percentage error in B. So this is the mathematical expression how error can be represented in case of product. In case of division, suppose we have a physical quantity which is given by ratio of the two physical quantities. Suppose you want to measure density of a particular material. So for that we'll measure the mass of particular material and we'll find out what is its volume. So the ratio of the two will give the density. So when we are measuring mass, there will be some error. When we are measuring volume, there will be some error. So how the errors will be represented there, or it will be affecting density term in its measurement, such type of example will be given by division there. So suppose X is one physical quantity which is given by A by B. So again we'll take suppose delta A and delta B be the errors in the measurement of A and B respectively, and delta X is the corresponding error in X. So what we write? X plus minus delta X as A plus minus delta A divided by B plus minus delta B. Again we can take suppose X and A and B outside bracket, then it can be written as your X into 1 plus minus delta X by X, A into 1 plus minus delta A by A, B into 1 plus minus delta B by B. this a by b and x will get cancelled. So now what we'll get? 1 plus minus delta x by x. This is your 1 plus minus delta a by a, 1 plus minus delta b by b power minus 1. The term in the denominator we have taken in the numerator with its power being shown as minus 1. So this time, if you consider, we can write this as 1 plus minus delta a by a, and here we are applying binomial theorem. Here, if you have suppose 1 plus x power n, if you take its expansion, then this can be taken roughly as 1 plus nx for a small x. If x is a small, we can neglect higher powers in its expansion of 1 plus x power n. So in that case, it will be just written as your 1 plus nx. So here also you have the power as minus 1, and we have written it as 1 minus plus because this power is coming there as n into x there. So this term will be there, minus plus delta b by b. Again, this delta by b will be a small quantity, so that is why we can neglect its higher powers. So this time now if you expand, you will get 1 plus minus delta a by a minus plus delta b by b, and then it is your minus plus delta a by a into delta b by b. Again, this 1 will get cancelled from both sides. We can cancel it. This delta a by a into delta b by b is very small as compared to delta a by a and delta b by b. So as it is very small, so we can neglect that one. And if you neglect it, then what will get? Delta x by x equals to delta a by a. Now remember, again, when we take maximum error, that is the maximum relative error, then this will be given by plus sign and not minus. Okay, so maximum relative error in the measurement, again it will be given by the sum of the relative errors in the measurement of A and B. Similarly, if you multiply it by 100, so that you can get percentage error, so the percentage error will also be maximum percentage error in X will be given by percentage error in A plus percentage error in B. So whether it is the product or it is division, in both cases relative error will be given by sum of the relative errors in the individual physical quantity, not the difference. Similarly, for addition and subtraction also you see absolute error in the final measurement will be given by the sum of the errors in the individual measurements, whether it is your sum or difference of physical quantity which you are taking. So this is the propagation of error in case of addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. Now let's take a general case. General case means here, suppose x is given as a power alpha, b power beta, c power divided by c power gamma. It may have any form, like it may be your x is given as your a cube b square by c power 4 or anything like that. It may be fraction, it may be square root term there. Now if you just go by traditional method, like we have done, this is also like the product and division functions there. So if you take that way and if you try to get the final result for the relative error or percentage error there, then your calculation part or simplification part will be very lengthy, because this a will be written as your a plus minus delta a power 3. If you expand that, you will get 4 terms. If it is your b square, and if b is written as your b plus minus delta b whole square there, then in its expansion you will get 3 terms. In the denominator, as the power is 4, you will get 5 terms. If you just simplify all those, how many terms you will get? You will get here 4 terms, here 3, here 5. So it is 4 into 3 into 5. So many terms will be there, and you will have to do the calculation, or you will have to represent them in each line or in each step. That is why we try in a different way. We just try to take help of log as well as differentiation to get this result, final result. So let's see how we do that. So let's try to see how we simplify this one to get the relative error or percentage error for the final result. So what we do, first of all, we take log of both sides. So taking log of both sides. If you take log of both sides, on left hand side you will have the log x, and this side it is your log a power alpha, b power beta, c power gamma. This is the expression. So this is your log x, this is your log a power alpha, log b power beta, so what we get? Log x as log a power alpha, log b power beta by log minus log c power gamma. Why is it so? Because you know that as log m power n, this is your n times log m, log m into n, this is your log m plus log n, and log m by n, this is your log m minus log n. So here it is your a power alpha, b power beta, so this is like the product, so we have taken it as sum, divided by log c power gamma, so that we can take it as minus, so it is your minus log c power gamma. Again, as the power, if you take log m power n as n times log m, so we can write this as log x equals to alpha log a plus beta log b minus gamma log c. After this, we'll differentiate both sides. Suppose if you differentiate, so log x differential will be 1 by x, and for this x differential it is your dx, or you can simply write it as delta x. Dx is representing a small change, so delta x also we can use in place of that. So this is your delta x by x, this is your alpha, now it is your log a, it is your delta a by a, plus beta delta b by b, minus gamma delta c by c. Now you can see this is now in the form of relative error in x, relative error in a, b and c. But again, as we take maximum error in the measurement, so when you take maximum delta x by x, this is alpha delta a by a plus beta delta b by b, and this will be plus instead of minus, it is plus gamma delta c by c. So this is for maximum relative error in x. Again, if you multiply both sides by 100, so multiplying both sides by 100, what you will get? You will get maximum percentage error in x. This is alpha times percentage error in a plus beta times percentage error in B plus gamma times percentage error in C. So this will be the final result. Only if you have been asked to derive this, you will do it in this way. Otherwise, if it is a simple numerical based on this, where you will be given a particular form and you will be told that percentage error in the measurement of A is this much, B is this, C is this. What is the percentage error in calculation of X? So there you will be simply using the formula for maximum percentage error, that is alpha times percentage error in A, percentage error in B, percentage error in C, which is given as the final expression. Whatever be the value of alpha, beta and gamma, that will substitute and will put the value of the percentage error in the measurement of the given physical quantity, you will get the result. So this is how you can apply it for a general case. So this is all about propagation of errors, and it is the theory of the propagation of errors. You will get number of numericals based on that, where you will be applying this to get the error there in those measurements or in those physical quantities there.